when you're gaining weight, you have a little bit more leeway with what you eat. Obviously, you have your calorie goals, you have your macro goals, and you don't want to eat crap because you don't want to get fat. But at the same time, if you have like a 90% rule where like 9 out of 10 meals are good, and then one or even an 80% rule where 80 or 90% of your meals are clean and they're on plan, and then you have those 1 or 2 out of every 10 meals that are kind of not awesome, that's okay. The point is, you don't need to set yourself up for success quite as much when you're gaining weight, when you're going on a bulk. But when you're cutting, there's much less room for error. Today is Sunday, and that means it's meal prep day. Tomorrow, I am starting an actual cutting phase. So I'm driving to the grocery store to get food to prepare for that so I can come home and meal prep a lot of it, have a lot in the freezer so that I'm just prepared for a while. And I wanted to create a little video and give you all some tips that I give my clients for how to go about being successful in any sort of physique goal. So tip number 1, make your significant other feel incorporated into the process and appreciated. Don't just start doing something and then, when you're hangry or when they do something that's off your plan, it's bad and it starts a fight. Or if they suddenly want to go out for dinner and have like a date night or something, then you're shutting that down and it creates problems. Make sure that you plan to treat them good before and after these strict phases. Tip number 2, get rid of crap food wherever you live. In your apartment, in your home, in your dorm room. If it's not there, you can't eat it. Tip number 3, buy food in bulk. I advocate going to Sam's Club. I advocate going to Costco, even Walmart. Also, buying things in bulk is ultimately cheaper. It might be more money up front, but it's ultimately cheaper per serving, per food item, what have you. I highly recommend buying meat in bulk and freezing what you're not going to use immediately, and then you just pull out of the freezer as you need it. The chicken breast that I buy from Costco is, I think it's $2.99 a pound. Ground turkey is going to be ground turkey. I think you can get ground turkey for like $3.20 a pound. Now, ground beef is harder. If you buy it in bulk, the price comes down. If you go to Costco, knock on the butcher window and you ask them for the ground chub, you are going to get a 10 or 11 pound log of ground beef. It's going to be 90% lean at the least. I take that home and I cut it up into 2-pound blocks, saran wrap it, put it in a freezer bag, and I throw it in the freezer. As you can see, I like buying rice and oats in bulk. I think this is very, very helpful. However, it can be difficult to store 25 pounds of rice. It can be difficult to store 10 or 15 pounds of oats. So, it is key to make sure that you have the proper storage for the bulk food. You can get like plastic Rubbermaid cereal containers like these. And what I own 4 of them, right? 25 or 24 pounds of rice, you need 3 of them. 2.5 technically. And oatmeal, you need 2 of them. Each of them holds about 5 pounds. When we're talking about meat storage, You're going to want freezer bags, gallon freezer bags. You want to put your meat in those freezer bags if we're talking stuff that isn't going to be able to be in the packaging. Otherwise, when it gets hot outside, wipe the condensation off of the meat and just throw it in the freezer for when you're not using it. It's my final tip that has come to mind today. Do meal prep. A lot of people, when they're starting on a bulk or a cut, kind of go to the grocery store, they buy the food, they put it in their house, but then they don't make it immediately, because the vast majority of people make meals as they need them, right? They make breakfast each morning, then they go to work and they order lunch, or they go to a restaurant for lunch with their coworkers, and then they come home and you make dinner in the evening. That's like a typical cadence each day. And so a lot of people are out of practice for how to prepare food in bulk. The number one way to set yourself up for success, whether you're trying to gain weight or lose weight or just maintain where you're at, is simply to prepare your meals, put them in Tupperware, and then take all of your meals with you wherever you're going, whether that's the office or your in-laws or whatever. I like to go grocery shopping on Sundays and come home and prepare all of my food. This can sound daunting, but it can also be very, very simple insofar as you have a rice cooker and you put on a big, huge pot of rice. The rice is done, you divvy your rice into individual Tupperware containers. You cook all of your meat. Your meat comes out of the grill or the oven or the frying pan or whatever, and you cut up your meat on top of the rice into your Tupperwares. Then you sprinkle veggies on top of that. Make a big, huge pot of oatmeal. You divvy that out into Tupperware bowls, right? Add fruit or whatever you're gonna divvy it up to, and boom, now you have overnight oats for the entire week. You have to have Tupperware. I recommend glass Tupperware over plastic Tupperware. I feel like there's no difference in leakage, but I feel like the glass Tupperware does better in dishwashers. I feel like the glass Tupperware does better in the microwave over a long period of time, and it's a solid investment. I bought what do I have? I have 20 Pyrex glass Tupperware containers that I bought in 2012, and I still use all of them to this day. I have not had to replace a single one. Some of the lids are a little wonky, but the containers themselves are just fine. It's a much better investment. I feel like with plastic stuff, you have to replace it more often. And then you have your food prepped for the week, and there's no excuse not to eat it. And if you don't eat that food, you just wasted money. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you like this kind of content, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Maybe leave me a comment on how you prepare yourself for nutritional success differently. Subscribe to my channel. I provide strategies like this to all of my fitness clients. I don't just email somebody a diet plan and say good luck. I actively try to give them tips and tricks for sticking to it, setting them up for success, etc. So if you're interested in online coaching, you can go to verticenthealthfitness.com and shoot me a message, inquire about coaching. I look forward to hearing from you and getting you to your goals. Thanks for clicking on this one, and I'll see you in the next one.